Let me describe a scenario to you. An individual becomes angry with a person or a thing, becomes upset with a person or a thing, experiences feelings of loss or disappointment with a person or a thing, allows those emotions to completely overwhelm them, and then strikes out at whatever the cause of those feelings are. Goes berserk, blows a fuse, has a tantrum. Inevitably, people who are on the receiving end of this complain, and the individual responsible then stands up in righteous indignation and says, "But I was angry. I was upset. I was feeling victimized by the circumstances." So measures are taken to resolve this conflict between these people. Hopefully everything is reset back to as close to the way it was before as possible. And the individual goes forward and finds something that makes them angry or upset or feeling like they've been disadvantaged, and they allow those emotions to completely overwhelm them. And they strike out, they blow a fuse, they have a tantrum, they go berserk. This is not a cycle that I will tolerate. This isn't the behavior of a warrior. A warrior understands very clearly that if they identify some threat or some sort of issue with which they could have a problem, they will naturally feel emotions, they will identify those emotions, they will set them aside, and they will dispassionately consider the situation, and they will come up with a solution, and they will engage the people who are involved in that, and they will resolve it. And most of the members of our order do that on a regular basis, because there's nothing unusual about disagreement in the world. But it doesn't have to result in conflict. Anyone will tell you that if you allow anger and emotion to overwhelm you, it will cloud your emotions and your ability to think. I did a video on this recently. The berserker is a very interesting character that you see in warfare, and if you look at the annals of the history of warfare, you will see that they race into a situation, allowing their emotions to completely overwhelm them because it blots out the fear. And in a situation where people are crossing swords, well, that can work to a certain extent, because if this person is running at you and you aren't prepared to deal with them, they're going to run right over top of you. But in a situation where we're dealing with live and let live, your ordinary, everyday dealings with people in the world, berserker doesn't have a place. These people tend to stand up, like I say, with righteous indignation and say, "I have a right to have these feelings." Yeah, you do, but you don't have a right to react in that fashion. There's far more effective ways of dealing with it. You'll all perhaps recall when I talk about warriors, I make it very clear that it's not about using these, it's about using this. So let's not do cycles like this. Let's not do violence. Let's not do berserker. Let's do common sense. Let's do warrior. And let's get along. Thanks for listening. I'm Kerr Cahoolin.